If you're constantly looking for excuses, looking for problems, you will find them and it will have an effect on you. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Commonwealth cabin. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. We always love it when you stop by. Look, all kinds of videos talk about how to succeed on eBay. And you've heard me say many times that there are a ton of different ways to succeed on eBay. And everybody has different expectations and everybody has a different definition of success. And that's the way it should be. But I can tell you there is a mindset for people that will definitely fail on eBay. And I want to talk about how and who will fail on eBay. And my wife told me I had to not wear a hat every once in a while and get my hair cut. So here you go, babe. No hat today. Well, I'll probably put it on in a minute because I feel naked. And we had a crazy auction and a huge investment. I made a $400 investment into one single tiny item, small item. And I'm gonna show you live as the auction ends here in a little bit as well. So, but as usual, we do 3 or 4 sales before we get into the topic, which is how people will definitely fail on eBay. What is this thing, y'all? That looks like a lung right there. At any rate, this I bought at the 127 2 years ago, and we took a long time to list it, but it's been listed for a long time, and it finally sold. You probably remember it sitting up there for a long time, sold for $30 plus shipping. I'm gonna read you something in just a second that shows, you know, the kind of mindset of people who fail, not just at eBay, but at all kinds of things. And it just blows my mind. I get these messages all the time, and I wish I could reply to all of them, but you know what? A lot of times, even replying to people who have that kind of mindset, it's just not gonna work most of the time. These are Smurfs, what do they call it? Is it Payo? Is that the Smurf brand thing? These are kind of cool, actually. And I don't even remember where we picked these up. I know I picked them up somewhere, but they're kind of cool figures. I should have put them up here for a while. I like to display little things like that. How's Orko still hanging around here? I'll put Orko over there. Any rate, I get distracted easily, apparently. And these guys right here, we put them out at a good price and they sold really quickly. So for $23.75 plus shipping, and they went, David, I'm pretty certain you sent me a message, but it's not on the purchase. So when it gets in that messaging system, it's like it's not easy. And so sometimes I'll screenshot it, and I thought I screenshotted your message, but I cannot find it. So David, thank you. If you do definitely want me to read a message, just put it on the purchase where it says, I don't know what it says, note to seller or something like that. So David, I appreciate it very much. I hear Wallen. I think it's Wallen anyways. I get these messages from folks. Come on, you want your treat? Say, Mama's gone, huh? So you're sad. And they almost all say the exact same thing in different ways. I'm gonna get into the whole topic in a second, but this next item sparked my memory about something. And people talk about sourcing, and this is not really the topic of the day, but I've heard from people personally that I actually know, you know, that sourcing is such a problem these days and they'll never be able to make money anymore. And I'm like, you know, well, if you're a one-trick pony, it might be like estate sales. I know some people who just do estate sales or do estate sales and some garage sales. And they're like, estate sale prices are so crazy. I'm holding up this item. I'm standing here because I went to an estate sale and there were some crazy prices and I had to pay up for some things, but nobody knows everything. And I got this, and I sold one similar the other day, like a tree climbing lineman kind of thing. That was $1. The other one was $1. They both sold. They're going to sell for $50 a piece. This was $1 right here. It looks just kind of junky. You know, the box is kind of messed up, but that reel is new. And they had $1 on it. And I'm like, well, I'll take it. It sold for $50 plus shipping. And so that's one of those things right there. You know, people tell me all the time in the garage sale videos, if somebody talks about eBay prices at the yard sale, they're gone. And I get that. I get that. Especially if you have 50 other opportunities around. I cannot tell you how many things I've found at garage sales where people had things overpriced, relatively overpriced, I should say. Overpriced for resellers, right? They might have it priced at 50% of eBay value or 75, and that's not really where I want to be. But there's almost always something, somewhere, if you're dedicated to it, you don't get yourself sidetracked with the negatives where you can find something. And sometimes you find some pretty good items. So $3, I'm gonna make $150 off of 3 purchases at that estate sale, even though there was a ton of stuff there that was overpriced. Dog wants to be wherever my feet are. I don't want to step on you, bud. All right, but I want to show you something. And I've got this video from last night I'm gonna throw in here if it's appropriate here. I think that's right. This one is the Chrome Ellie De La Cruz, and I'll kind of tell you the story on the video, but I paid, well, I'll tell you this now. I paid $1,000 for these two, $1,000. Figured 400, 600 right here, even though this one's, whatever. I'm gonna say $400 for this one. I paid it to my nephew because he was having trouble with people. He was auctioning it off. He doesn't have a big eBay following or anything like that. He's got, you know, very few sales, and they weren't paying. So I'm like, listen, I'll buy it from you, but you know, you're my nephew, so I don't want to, you know, make a fortune off of you. So I said, I'll pay $1,000, and if I lose money, I'll lose money, and if I make more than $1,600, we'll split everything over $1,600. And this is, of course, a very popular card. I don't deal in cards, but I was helping him out, and he had got these cards. He got them signed and got them graded, which was brilliant, by the way. And they're PSA 10 autos for Ellie De La Cruz, and I'm gonna let you look at this auction. So I'm just gonna see. I was hoping to get over 400, so we're definitely there. Just 485 right there. So 400 was my break even, let's say. 560. I paid him $1,000 for 2 of these guys, but one of them is a Chrome, so that one should go for more. So pretty darn happy here. See where it ends. 710, 770. Keep going. One more time. One more time. 830. See if we got any more. 860. Wow. That's more than I thought. Super duper cool. That's really awesome. All right, Austin, if you're listening, you can get a little bit more money, bud. I listed the first one, the paper one, first. And this one is up for auction now. It should be ending time this video. I don't know. It might be over by now, or it's still out there. And so this one was the first one up. But this one is actually the better of the two because it's a Chrome Prospects card, and this is just a paper. So I guess we'll see how the other one does, and we'll see. I'm hoping, buddy, I get to send you some more money. We'll pull one more item and then get into the topic, which is how people fail, or what type of person fails. The attitude of a failure on eBay. Boy, that kind of got messed up a little bit. This is a Life straw for all you preppers out there. And I paid $1, sold for $10 plus shipping. I'm gonna read you just a little bit of the type of message I'm talking about. I could read 50 of these. I get them not quite on a daily basis, but for the most part, pretty close. eBay is a lost cause. This is what this person says here. The platform is just lousy. And this isn't just about eBay. This is really about all reselling platforms, but you'll get the point. The platform is just lousy. 3.5, and I don't know if these numbers are right, 3.5% of e-commerce market share today, which is practically nothing. The platform's public image is down in the tubes after decades of burning bridges with millions of sellers. That and the fact that their executives went to prison, harassing, threatening journalists. Every time a seller gets robbed and leaves the platform, they go and tell their friends and family to stay away. The result is the ghost town that eBay has become. They say there's also no incentive to sell there anymore, given the outrageous fees. Platforms like Mercari don't charge a red cent unless you actually sell something. Payments are quick, and listing itself is faster and far easier than on eBay. Okay, there's a bunch of things that just aren't exactly accurate here. But it's not about these things that they're saying in particular. It's about the mindset. And they go on with quite a few other things here. And then I'm going to talk about it just a little bit here. So eBay's entire business model is based around charging seller fees. And they say, and eBay gives nothing in return. You have to pay for visibility on eBay with promoted listings. Otherwise, they hide all your listings. The platform is pathetic, greedy. I shut my store down last year. Okay, so there you go. That's the kind of mindset that people who aren't going to succeed, obviously this person isn't going to succeed because they've quit. And sometimes if you're a pet, being sullen and Eeyore-like and being sad because you didn't get a treat, sometimes that works when you have puppy dog eyes, but it doesn't work for grown adults most of the time. All right, Wallen is being relentless in there and will not be satisfied. No matter how many treats I give him, he wants more. So, which is a little bit kind of what we're talking about, right? And that's kind of the attitude you got to have. You've got to be relentless. Like, failure is not an option. You know, it's not what I hear all the time. You know, Whatnot ruined eBay. The algorithm is screwed up. And look, I'm not saying there's not problems. I have grievances with eBay myself. But if you're constantly looking for excuses, looking for problems, you will find them and it will have an effect on you. You know, I get criticized all the time. You know, you only succeed on eBay because of social media or whatever. So what? Who cares? What is it going to take for you to succeed? And I'm not saying social media is the answer, because for most people, it just simply isn't. They don't have the time. They don't have the wherewithal. They don't have the drive to do it, whatever the case. I'm just saying that where there's a will, there's a way, right? And I know it's generic and it's cliche, but it's the truth. And if you look for solutions instead of excuses, you will probably, almost certainly, if you're really determined, succeed. It's not the fact that promoted listings have ruined everything. It's not the fact that your items are being hidden. It's not whatever. Look, there are so many people I know that succeed at this game because they work their butts off and they don't take no for an answer. You know, the thrift stores prices are so high, I just can't find anything anymore. It's impossible. There's too much competition. There's way too many resellers now. Whatever the case may be, there's always an excuse. And for those type of people, there's rarely a solution. And that's really where you need to look at. You know, I used to coach baseball. I'm getting this whole bin out of here because I have a feeling I got to dig here. Watch out there, Wallen. I don't want to run you over, bud. Careful. There we go. Let me put it down. Now, I love yard sales, but let me tell you, if yard sales, look at that, I didn't have to dig for us, dried up, I find another way, because there's no way I'm giving up what I love. We're just not. We're just going to keep trucking and find a way. What's this guy called? Wave, I think is what he's called. Five Nights at Freddy's. Sister location. I don't know what this is. At any rate, I bought, well, I'm not going to give it away. You're going to see it on an upcoming picker video. Paid about $1.15 a piece for a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's plush. And this isn't even, there's like 80 of them. This one sold for $30 plus shipping. I've often talked about my coaching days, and on my baseball team, I coached high school baseball for a long time, 2 decades. And you could tell, even kids that were really talented, very, very good high school baseball players, they didn't have the mentality. You knew they weren't going to go on and play Division I baseball or college baseball anywhere. You just knew they weren't. I coached some kids who got drafted, and they had a mindset that was very, very different. And you could tell if they struggled. If they struggled, would they immediately search for an excuse or somebody to point the finger at, or sometimes they'd point it at me or their parents or a teacher, whatever it was, right? They pointed at something, and they almost inevitably would be the ones who would fail. The ones who would search out the answers, who would find solutions, who would work harder and move past those difficulties, those were the ones that you knew could go a long way, even if they were less talented. I tell Turner all the time, sorry, sometimes I go off a little bit. But when Turner's out there, I tell Turner all the time that his body language is talking to the other team. When I took over that baseball team forever ago, 20-some years ago, they hadn't won more than 5 games in a season in over a decade. And so the mindset was wrong. So to rebuild it, we actually started off with some strange things. Well, not strange to me, but strange to other people from the outside looking in. We cleaned up our baseball field. We invested money in it. We raised money. We made it look great. We made it look like a program that was successful. We raised money for new uniforms. We started off with that because it gave them pride, it gave them direction, and it gave them a new outlook and a new attitude. And, you know, we could take those lessons into account too. If you don't like the area where you work in, if it's not effective, if it's not producing sales, then maybe you need to start there. Maybe you can't get over those bad buys. We all make bad buys. We all make bad decisions. Things don't work. Things get returned. Sometimes it's good to just cut bait and start over mentally and try not to make those mistakes in the future. I picked this, it's $1. I'm like, I'll make a couple bucks. Somebody wants it. Mary Poppins seal DVD right there. I think that's what it is. Yeah, 2-disc special edition. Oh, it's the soundtrack. So there you go. And that sold to a viewer. Sold for, I think, 10 bucks. And it sold to Monica. I think you're a viewer anyway. It says repeat buyer. So Monica, I really do appreciate that. I hope you enjoy that. So when I'm practicing out in the backyard with Turner and he's struggling, like he's a switch hitter. He was practicing right-handed the other day and he was struggling. Left-handed, he was killing it. Right-handed, he was struggling. And you could tell his body language just went downhill. This is a Pokemon DS case in great condition. Got it at a private pick, sold for, I don't remember. Man, I can't remember these days. Getting old, y'all. That sold for $25 plus shipping. Was that a viewer? I think it might, no. I say read on here. If that was a viewer sale, I apologize. I don't think I have your message. I totally take it back. You left a message on the purchase. This is from Leslie. Big fan of the Commonwealth channels and the podcast. Had this as a kid and have been looking for another one for a while. This one's in great shape. $25 plus shipping. Leslie, I really do appreciate it. Look at this body language. You miss your mama, don't you? You miss Reagan too. And so I immediately took the focus. I do this with Turner often, and he does really, really well at it. He's just an amazing kid, by the way. I'm sorry, I don't want to brag about my kids, but look at that. I was just talking about you. What you doing?
I was gonna show you can only.
Oh, you're getting your jokes ready.
I got 13 on them.
Okay, very cool, bud. Somebody's happy to see you. All right, y'all, I'm going to turn the camera off. We got to talk for a minute. All right, y'all, we're going to read another one from Patty. But Turner's actually been researching for, we only have one Whatnot show in August from the house. And so he's already prepping for that one, getting his jokes ready and all that stuff, because he does jokes on the Whatnot thing. So, and I pay a donate. $1 to save, $1 to spend, $1 to donate. And I gave him an unbelievable deal.
Yeah, it's crazy.
$1 a joke.
I know, that's just insane.
That is insane. All right, but that's all right. You work hard and I love you. Okay, this is from Patty. I think this is the second one. We read one the other day. What's the joke? Commonwealth comedy.
Where do polar bears keep their money?
Where do polar bears keep their money? I know this. What is it?
In a snowbank.
In a snowbank. All right, we're talking about something. Can I talk to you about it? Okay. What do I always tell you when you're struggling out there in baseball? I always tell you...
Always have good body language.
That's right. Because if you're out there and you're dejected and your head is down and whatever, there's a psychological effect. And the opponent knows you're weak. And so that's just one way of having a good attitude and acting like things are going great. Acting like you're successful, even though things aren't going good. And then if you keep the right attitude, things will be good before you know it. So, at any rate, buddy, thank you.
Bye.
You know, it might surprise some of you who think I'm a softie that I was a pretty demanding teacher and a pretty demanding coach, but I was never demanding about results. I was demanding about effort and attitude. Those were the two things, and it was a constant thing that I drilled into people because we can control those. All right. So speaking of, when you're selling scrubs, even good ones, and these aren't like amazing, but they're Disney, right? They should sell. Scrubs are kind of hard, and they were $2 a piece in an estate sale. And I decided I was going to pick them up, and the reason was that they were all the same size, and there were tons of them. I bought like 20-something of them, maybe more. I can't remember. And so what I did, since they're all the same size, is I lotted them up by genre. This just happened to all be Disney, and we made a sale. So $6, 27. Is that what we got for these? Let me look. 27 bucks, and it was free shipping. So there's only about $12 profit in these after you take out fees and shipping and the cost of goods. But to me, it was still worth it because it was one sale, $12 profit. We're probably into this for maybe 10 minutes. That's good enough money for me. I guess I should show you the other shirts. That's Chippendale right there and 101 Dalmatians. I used to tell my players all the time, success has many parents, but failure is an orphan. In other words, when things go right, everybody wants to take credit for themselves. Everybody's happy. Everybody thinks they're doing a great job. When things go wrong, we tend to point fingers. And that's an attitude of somebody who's going to fail. And so, I had 3 returns last week. That could get you down, right? One of them was a pretty high dollar return. And it's like, okay, well, you could quit. Or you could say, all right, I had 3 returns this week, so instead of listing, 10 things a day, I'm going to list 11 things a day this week. I'm going to make that money back and more and get those things relisted and out the door. I think the biggest one that gets people down and gets them in the wrong mindset is the slow sales. And that's going to happen from time to time for sure. So have a built-in response to it that's not negative. Like something like this. Maybe I'm going to learn a new platform, or I'm going to organize my dev pile, or I'm going to list 2 more things a day. If I only sell so many things in a day and it's not what I'm used to, then that means I'm going to do, I don't know, I'm going to clean something that I don't want to list. I'm going to test something. Have a built-in response to those days that mentally drain you. And it could be anything. I'm going to, you know, start cross-listing, or I'm going to cross-list more, or I'm going to do whatever. Just come up with something. To me, it's listing. If there's less time shipping because sales are slow, then I'm going to list more that day. And eventually, if you do that, the mindset, you'll just get in that automatic response mode as opposed to dwelling on it. Like, people will get on and like, are everybody's eBay sales slow? Or they'll get on Facebook and they'll complain about this and they'll complain about that. Your time is far better spent doing something positive rather than negative. And I've pulled a few orders. I think it's Kelly who bought these. No, it's not. It's Amy who bought these. And she bought 3 things. Uh-oh. We got an issue there. I hope that was in the listing, because if it's not, we got a problem. At any rate, see, that one needs sewn back on. So I'll have to look at the listing. We'll see if it is or not. These 2 5 Nights at Freddy's right here, I hear Wallen out there, sold. Along with, I pulled this out earlier when I was digging through this bin, this Jack Skellington. And that's a talking one right there. I play the NBC Holiday Medley. And those 3 all sold together to Amy. Right around 50 bucks, just a couple dollars more, I think, plus shipping. And I'm sure I'll return some, I'll return some shipping on that one right there. Hello, Kevin and family. Would you please combine shipping? See, there you go. Always ask. I probably would have done it anyways, but now I'm going to write a note to make sure. I've been watching on your YouTube every day for several months now. I really do appreciate all that I've learned, Kelly. Or Kelly, why do I keep calling you Amy? Thank you very much, and I'll have to look at that. It does not look like, unless that's a different one. That's not even the right one. It's a different one you bought. Cool. So you'll get the right stuff. So I appreciate it. This is the right one here with tags. So thank you for that. $59 plus shipping. And I've got to show you all this. So this was another gift, and we still have a bunch to get through. But this was from Cheryl, who we met at the Trash to Cash Vegas Bash, and she was amazing. One of my favorite people I met there for sure. Everybody who was there remembers her. She was amazing. She's quilted tees. And I just got to show you this. By the way, we saw your email, your message. I've passed it off to Blue Ridge Mama. She is going to do this eventually. I promise you, we will. She does these tees. See, she takes t-shirts and turns them into quilts. And here's her information, by the way, if you ever need this done. www.gallery123uniques.com. Well, y'all can pause it and look at it if you want. Gonna run 26PT2 at msn.com. So, thank you for sending us this. And I think these are stickers, maybe. I have to get them up there. But this is cool. And so what I want to do is take every one of our shirts. I don't think we have quite enough, but we have a new design coming soon, or sometime down the road. And we're going to save one of each shirt, and we're going to make a quilt out of all of our shirts, and we'll auction it off for charity. So, at any rate, Cheryl, you're amazing, and thank you for this. Speaking of charity, and even if you do hate Whatnot, I would appreciate it if you do something, even if it's just one time. We're doing a charity auction at the Reseller Rally, September 30th, so there's still some time, but I want to make this thing just amazing. We're donating everything to St. Jude. We've had all kinds of people and creators donate to this. If you would take a minute, if you've never signed up, you can use the link and maybe you can purchase something that night. Maybe you don't have to, but if you use that link, you will have $15 extra. My guess is that the items in that auction will go for a lot of money, but that's what I want because all that money is going to St. Jude, John Cincinnati Picker, and I haven't talked to Pete about it yet, but I have no doubt that he'll want to join in as well, even though he, like some of you, isn't the hugest fan of Whatnot, but I'm sure he's willing to do some charity stuff, and John is all in as well. So thank you, John, and I'm just flattered by how many people have been donating to this, and it's something I've been working hard on. It is one of the charities that we kind of hold near and dear for many reasons. So, okay. Whew. This Mary Kay Compact, not a big seller, sold at a 25% off discount because it has been in the store for a while. Only $5.21 plus shipping. Take a minute and bookmark that show. I'll show you how to bookmark it right here, that little thing right there in the corner. we would appreciate it greatly. And some of those auction items are already listed. We're doing a giveaway, American Bubble Boy 1 year's worth of bubble wrap for one lucky person that day. And I'm gonna find this. I'm looking for Mortal Kombat, y'all. Do you see it? Come, I can't find it. I think I just touched it. Oh well. This one's so good. Xbox. Old Xbox games can be hit or miss, boy. Some are good, some aren't good. Same with PS1. Some can be really, really good. And this one sold for $35. And I dug this out of here. This is an older item as well. Pampered Chef. My wife is like me. She wants to extract all the money from items as opposed to get rid of them. So I think this one went out at 25% off because it's been there for a while. And it's still sold for $6.71 plus shipping. It's Pampered Chef, like a cheese grater. No, not grater, like measure. I don't know what it is. I'll take the money though. So an NES mini system that I originally bought actually for Turner. It's the second one I bought for him. First one didn't work. But he's got the other NES and he likes it and he wants something else. I'm like, oh, we'll just sell it. And it was back here and it sold for $21 plus shipping, and it's the one that's got all of the classic games already built into it. And Reagan's not here today, so I'm going to do the thank you for the CommonwealthPicker.com store. And it's going to Jasmine. Jasmine bought a Commonwealth Picker sticker and a Trash to Cash sticker. I don't often show you these, but they're not just the typical stickers that we do. They're bigger die cuts, really, really good quality on those. And there's the Trash to Cash one, so thank you for that. I guess I gotta say, don't forget your sticker at CommonwealthPicker.com. So we've got a few more sales we're gonna hit. But just as a reminder, if anybody ever is looking for the affiliate links, or really if you're looking for absolutely anything, the upcoming events, like we're gonna go to FlipCon here really quickly. We're gonna go to the Boss Reseller Remix. We're going to, of course, the Reseller Rally. If you ever want to see any of those dates or any upcoming events we have, or affiliate links, or any of our social media, or the merch store, whatever, you go to CommonwealthPicker.com, you can find it all there. The next one I just had to get, even though you'll see this in a video coming up too. This is a Rust doll. I love the old Rust dolls, and I've sold this particular one before, actually. And this is, what's the name of it? It's Alex? No, I'm trying to think. Something Alligator. Albert Alligator. And this was actually attached to a lamp. They had it, and they had it zip tied to the lamp, and then the bottoms were glued to the base of the lamp. And I recognized it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I want that thing. Because they were just literally giving stuff away. They were trying to sell the house. They're like, just make a big pile, $10. I'm like, well, I'll throw some stuff in then. Because essentially you get it for free. And I know these go for around $15. We listed this one for $14 plus shipping. That sold pretty quick. I've grown to hate selling Nerf stuff, but I still sell some of the accessories. The failure rate of the guns is just getting too high these days. And that Nerf ammo belt sold for $10.50 plus shipping after going on 25% off discount. So it was listed around, I don't know, $14 or so. So still decent money. It's at a flea market. Well, it wasn't really a flea market. It was a church parking lot that kind of acts as a flea market. And I saw a kid that used to go to the school that I taught at, and he had this out there for $5. And it only sells for $15 plus shipping because it's in this condition. But he just was a good kid, and I'm like, I'll buy it for $5, sell it for $15 plus shipping. It's enough money for me. And a bunch of folks have been using the American Bubble Boy link lately, so thank you. Jill, thanks you as well. I know I'm having to order more. Normally I do it on, I gotta find this. I do it on like subscription because it's cheaper to do it that way. Subscription, is that what you, yeah, that's what it's called. And I'm gonna run out before I get my next load, so I'm gonna have to make a separate one. So, because we've been selling a ton in here, y'all. This ink right here, I bought it for $1 at the same flea market parking lot. And it's not huge money, but it's some money. $14.24, I think, plus shipping on that one.